I'm letting Dave get his welcome out. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Marla. Welcome to the Marla and Dave Show.
It's a mad world. Let's talk about it.
All right. So look, first of all, we can't go forward without discussing what kind of mood I'm in. Tony, hit me.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah. While I love the song, I'm not sure that you're every woman. Wait till we get to the doghouse. Here we go.
Oh, that's a good one. What about you?
Well, Tony, hit me.
Oh, Dave, you can't get hit.
Well, I get those old school songs.
Uh-oh.
You hear what it's saying?
No, wait. You're so tired?
I'm so tired,
So's your song.
Famous
So tired,
Beatles
you can't even
classic, I'm so tired.
Yeah.
I didn't say of you. Notice I didn't say that. I just said I'm so tired. And you know why I'm so tired?
Because you've been in the doghouse for a week.
No, well, it is kind of
exhausted.
rough in the doghouse, especially when you don't deserve it. But I guess the real reason why I'm tired is because I drove back and forth from Vegas, and I fly back and forth from Vegas. Take Six is in Vegas right now, doing our show, Georgia on My Mind, at the Venetian.
Okay, well, I have to say
Absolutely.
that I, too, was in Vegas. I don't know that Vegas exhausts me, but for different reasons. I feel tired when I leave Vegas. Probably this time because your little band member, one of your little a cappella superheroes, challenged me to a sprint and got smoked in the hallway.
Yeah.
Christian doesn't want to talk about that. You see how
well,
quiet he went?
you know what? I'm glad you did, because he smoked me playing golf. I was at the turn. I was securely in the lead. And I just fell apart. I had poor nutrition. I had no food. My blood sugar tanked, and suddenly I couldn't play golf.
Right.
I mean, I was killing it before the turn through the front nine.
So, Christian, if you're listening to this and you can see us, vengeance is mine. And this V means vengeance. So don't get it
I'm
twisted.
glad it means vengeance. Okay.
You know what? Before we go any further, we can't go not another second without thanking Halloran Hill and Chris Marion for
that's
always
right.
hooking.
All the color pieces that you hear for the Marla and Dave show, the intro, our feature color pieces.
There's
guys. Halloran Hilton Hill, the Triple H.
Absolutely. There's no Marla and
Chris
Dave
Marion.
show without them.
Producer extraordinaire.
So last week we had Layla Hathaway on, and we also had Lori Flowers on. So I want to remind everybody that every month Marla and Dave will choose a charity, and this month, considering it is also the month that we are focused on breast cancer,
That's right.
our charity that we'd like for you to all participate in
is Triple Step Towards the Cure. You can go to their website, triplestepforthecure.org.
And Layla is always jumping out there, and she's a innovator with music, but as well, this time it's all about her pledge. There's a pledgemusic.com campaign
/ Layla Hathaway and help her make her records.
So we have some hot guests here today. We've got a really hot topic. We're talking about why Cubs, younger men, prefer Cougars, older women.
That's right. Cougars, older women, may be lying sometimes depending on how old they are. But we have been saying that we were going to have Austin Brown. Unfortunately, he had to do a sound check. So now we have Gregg Guenther, former ex-professional football player. He's in studio with us, and we have a surprise Cougar. Rawr! But now it's time for...
It's time for the doghouse.
It's time for the Marla and Dave Doghouse. Marla has something that should put Dave in the doghouse. Dave has something that should put Marla in the doghouse. You decide who gets a biscuit and who gets busted and ends up in the doghouse.
I need to remind everybody right quick that right now as we stand, Dave has a nice comfy pillow and a bone, and he's in the doghouse last week, and thank you, Tony, for helping to put him there because he deserved to be there. And I think, again, this week we'll agree that Dave should be in the doghouse. Sheila and Greg and Tony and everyone else in Marla and Dave land. Here's why Dave needs to be in the doghouse. So Dave said that he came home early from Vegas, and he drove home. I flew. But when he got home, he starts in with, so, honey, did you leave the blinds open? Did you know that this particular lock isn't doing this and isn't doing that? Why are the pillows disarranged on the couch? I'm like, dude.
Oh, I didn't do the pillow thing. Wasn't this week?
Okay, it doesn't even matter. Why are you harassing me? You're not here. You're in La La Land with everybody.
Notice how I'm actually texting on my phone right now. I'm barely paying attention.
Whatever. The bottom line is you're going to pay attention when everybody's barking at you. So here's the deal. Dave should be in the doghouse because if you're not going to be home, don't try to mind the business of home. I got this.
Well, Marla should be in the doghouse because, oh man, did I already forget why you should be in the doghouse?
That's because I don't deserve to be there.
Oh
That's
man,
exactly what happens.
I shouldn't be texting. It
That's
makes me
what
forget.
Happens. Look at that. So
oh
you're
my
just
goodness,
in the
I should be
doghouse by default.
I'm gonna put myself in the doghouse. Oh my goodness.
Dave's in the doghouse
Wow.
because he can't remember anything. That's the other reason I want to put Dave in the doghouse. Can somebody shut the door?
That's for real.
Just
That's
shut
for
the
real.
door.
You know what? I'm just going to go in the doghouse this week myself.
You know what? I'm coming
Thanks.
stronger and harder at you. Nick, I'm actually, you need a pass to get out of the doghouse from this point.
You know what? I'm going to come back to the doghouse. Let's get back to the show.
Current events, pop culture, the hot topics of the day. It's time for Mad News on the Marla and Dave radio show. Ladies and gentlemen, Marla and Dave.
This is a little bit more serious. While we were in Vegas, I got a chance I turned on the news, and there was more upheaval and unrest in Missouri based on the Ferguson situation with Mike Brown. They killed the young man.
The Ferguson, Missouri / St. Louis.
Right. And so, I guess for me at this point, I think that things are completely out of control. But the question I always have is, what can we do about it? It's not just, these are injustices, don't get me wrong. But when are we going to actually unite and come together and voice our opinions in a way that we can actually make true change? And how can we help things get better versus A, just talking about it, B, tearing junk up, setting stuff on fire, and retaliating because it doesn't make any sense. There's a difference between just complete bedlam and mayhem.
Well, I guess for me, we got to ask the question, what happens when citizens no longer trust the police? Where do you draw the line between civil disobedience and just blatantly breaking the law? Just going crazy. Now we got cops shooting citizens and citizens shooting cops. It's hard to actually draw the line. And I still think they should actually convene the grand jury and charge the policeman that shot the kid.
Well, that's justice done through the courts that we don't trust, which is part of the problem. I think that, too many times there's been these injustices and the people who are at fault get off.
Well, let's get this party started. Enough of the sadness that's going on in St. Louis. Hopefully, we pray that they get that straightened out pretty soon.
I will say
but
this.
Let's get the party started.
I have to say this, though. I have to leave with this. You got to put your
money.
money.
Let's not get the party started.
No party. You got to put your money where your mouth is. That's the bottom line. So if you want people to hear you, you have to actually draw together where it counts. All right. Now, let's get the party started.
No, it's too late.
You're in the doghouse.
It's not as, while from the doghouse, broadcasting from the doghouse, I'm David Thomas. Thank you. I just want to say that we're going to keep the phone lines open. The phone number to call in to the Marla and Dave show is 323-284-7826.
Call us right now.
Again, 323-284-7826. And the reason why you want to call in is because we are discussing today why Cubs younger men prefer Cougars.
Sex.
Oh, that's an answer? Sex?
I just was saying something sex.
I don't think it's just sex.
Dude, okay.
I mean, young men and older men prefer sex all the time. So I don't think that sex is the number one reason. I think that might be why Cougars prefer Cubs.
Oh no.
I don't think that's why Cubs prefer Cougars.
Are you kidding me? Sex is a two-way street. It takes two people to actually engage. So here's the thing. Let me just say this. Outside of sexual attraction, I think that it's very hard to find common ground. And because I'm actually one that would be on the other side. I don't think that a younger man can actually handle the emotional complexity of an older woman. Bottom line. So yes, you might be able to have your member, pumping longer than an older guy. But at the end of the day, I want to be able to actually have a conversation. And, it has to be deeper than that. It has to be about companionship. And I don't think a young guy can hang in the bed and after that he's done.
Well,
He's
before I come back to talk about that, I'm going to say this. I want to also say at the UBN Radio, at ubnradio.com, Channel 1, you can also join our chat via just a chat room. Some of our friends are in there. We have Lisa Marion in there. She's saying she's checking out the show for the first time, and she was asking us, have we been doing this for a long time somewhere else? Yes, we used to do it on our website, marlandave.com, but now we're at our new home. It's nicer.
That is
It's
true.
bigger.
We've also got Sandra Hawkins on here, and
That's
she's
right.
she's saying that she's catching it for the first time. This is Sandra Hawkins is our tennis. She follows us, and she's
And
a
Sandra,
a
yes,
Federer.
Federer did beat Nadal, for the record, in our personal
All
tennis
right.
match.
So,
Anyway,
here we go.
we have Gregg Guenther in studio with us. Greg, say hello.
Buenos dias.
Okay, Greg is also
That's his sexy cub.
an
cub voice.
international guy.
My
He's a
radio voice.
continental type fellow.
And we also have with us our friend Sheila Lee, and Greg also is our friend. But
Oh yeah.
But today they serve two totally different purposes. We got a cub, broom,
I'm not sure about that
and
one.
we have a cougar.
I don't know if I like being called a cougar.
Oh, so you don't even agree with the term.
I agree with the term, but I don't think it's me.
Okay, well let me ask you a question.
Well,
What-
first of all, let me
Hold on.
let me get to a little background. Greg, like I said, is an ex NFL player. Sheila is a fitness trainer extraordinaire, and she's also she also helps run what's the name of the club again?
Equinox Fitness.
I've been so far and so long away from Equinox that I
That's
almost
sad.
forgot.
We're waiting for you to come back.
Okay. Well, anyway, let's jump right into it. Let's ask first, Greg, if you don't mind, Sheila. First of all, would you consider yourself a cub?
Not at all.
Yeah,
Oh, so you don't like older women?
Well, I would say back to what do you define as a cougar?
Well, okay.
Anyone
so
older
let's
than
get-
you?
So let's no.
Anyone older than the cub?
Let's get the definition together first. I think that's a fair thing. Let's define.
We need a starting point.
I think that, to me, anytime that there is a notable difference in age, which I'm not even going to call, and I think that gap shrinks as you get older, but I think that I'm not even going to call it at this point less than 5 to 10 years. Let's call it 10. Let's call it 5 to 10 years. Can we say that? Audience, what do you guys think? 5 to 10 years, can we call that a cougar or an older woman, the gap? Let's talk about the age gap.
I would say that's pushing it because I think it's normal for, say, a man to date a woman 10 years younger, but it's not the same in reversed. I think somehow I'm thinking 15 years is stuck in my head. I want to say actually Google this. I actually found the definition when I was younger. So I might say 15 years
But then
plus.
a zoo came up, and it was all over. You
Possible.
looked up the definition
Yeah,
of a
but
cougar.
15 years?
And the local zoo
No,
popped
man,
up.
I don't think so.
I think
don't
at
think
least
so.
10.
10 years. Let's call that. Greg, first of
okay.
all, there's a lady in the chat room. Sandra says Greg looks pretty good. We will
You have great taste, Sandra.
We will sell him to you. Trust me. Greg, he's a cougar, but I think you might be able to tame him. That's what I'm saying.
Well, watch
No.
this. Our friend Lamont Baxter is also in the chat room. He said, younger men, me, and older women, me.
Okay.
For those
All
of you who
right.
don't know, Mimi is Marla's mother,
Okay.
my mother-in-law.
Oh, wow.
Is there a way, Tony, that we can have a little button that, like a little Tay shock that goes through and we can deal with some people in the chat room violently?
Marla has a hard time comprehending that Mimi is a beautiful woman, and that's where she gets her good looks from, and she's in denial.
No, I
Are
think
you
she- I
are you
don't
on the
think-
Mimi tip now?
I told you that for years.
Okay.
So you are a cub.
Yeah, you are.
Thank
a
you.
cub.
In that sense, maybe.
That's the only sense. That's the
wow.
actual.
Okay.
You might be such a cub that you like lions. No offense, Mimi.
Wouldn't be opposed.
Okay, so let me ask you both this. I'm gonna start with Sheila, because we do vow to be completely honest here. Okay, Sheila, what is the youngest man in reference to your age, the gap that you've ever dated, been involved with?
3 years ago, I was involved with someone who was 30.
And so, do you want to say your age? You can, but you
No,
can
you
say
don't have to say your age.
Oh, the gap.
Was that greater than 10 years?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now what? Okay.
So why?
I
so
love
why
this.
do you have? Wait, hold on.
Hold on, I speak cougar. Rawr. Excuse me.
So what? I want to know what is her aversion to the term? What is it about being called a cougar that disturbs you?
I think it's putting. We don't have a name for a man who dates a woman that's 10 or 15 years younger.
It's
So
called
why-
man.
He's called a.
Right.
It's called a sugar
it's called
daddy.
A man, but why is it that I have to have a term that describes what I'm doing because I'm a woman?
Well, there. I think there is. Guys, help me out here. Is there
It's
a
called
term?
a sugar daddy.
Sugar daddy.
I don't know. Sugar daddy actually pretty much denotes someone who's actually financially taking care
Right.
of the woman. And that might be the reason why a younger woman wants
Or
an
just
older
daddy.
man.
Yeah,
Hey, daddy.
right.
Without the sugar, just daddy.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
we
so
didn't say ratchet, but
so
yeah.
don't go there.
But Sheila, so let me ask you this: why do you think he was interested, other than you're a beautiful woman, in being dating an older woman? Did you guys have that discussion?
No, but I think that one, I do think he was very sexually attracted to me.
Mm-hmm.
But he was mature.
Wow.
He was a
For
little
those of you
mature.
listening.
Greg, your mic's on. You can go ahead with
yeah.
that.
Oh, I said who wouldn't be
Oh, there you go.
Who
See?
would
Oh.
be what?
Attracted to you.
Oh.
Do we
well,
have a
thank you,
Cub
Greg.
Cougar
Is
hookup
this
right
a bad
here?
match happening right before us? There's everything. There's no sharp edges in this room, are there? Because I don't want any injuries.
But I also think it's about not having drama and bullshit. Like,
Okay.
you know what I mean? With that, they would have to deal with a younger girl.
Okay.
You can't even
sorry, was I
handle.
supposed to say-
No,
I'm
you're
sorry.
fine. But this is why you got to grow up. Cougars curse.
Right.
I curse too, but you try. I think on my best behavior.
You
and I curse
yes.
like a sailor, so I was trying to be
You should be on your best behavior.
respectful of
Be-
you and Dave's show.
That's right. You should be.
Well, Greg, let me ask you, get you involved here. Why have you dated an older woman? Let me first establish that.
Yes,
What was the reason?
I'm a man.
So are you actually saying that age never came up to you? Never came up in your consideration?
No, I found her attractive. I talked to her. End of story.
So it was just compatibility, and she just happened to be older.
Okay, did you date older women or did you just sleep with one? Let's just get it real. Let's just come raw with it. Did you
was
just
it hit it and quit it?
Or
Or
was it
No.
was it a bang buddy or was it an actual relationship?
Did you want to put a ring on it? I guess that's what we can say.
Not quite. I would say date was probably yes, but didn't last that long.
Okay. Oh, well, okay. Well, let's hold it right there. We got a caller on the
and
line.
before we even go, let's get
We
the
got a
caller
caller on
because
the
we
line.
also
Let's get
have
a caller
somebody
in
on
here.
in the. Hi, you're on with Marla and Dave.
This is Lamont, Marla and Dave. How are you?
Hey,
Oh,
Lamont.
Lamont.
Thanks for calling in, buddy.
All the way from the East Coast.
All the way from the East Coast. It's a pleasure. So I do want to chime in on the Cub and the Cougar
Okay.
syndrome.
Okay.
Syndrome.
So why do you think Cubs prefer Cougars?
Well, I think Sheila hit it earlier in the show. She said it perfectly. There's a lot less drama when you're dealing with a more mature woman.
And there's
The
gonna
question is, the question is the Cub, the man, going to be able to hang with it? But for the most part, men are pretty simple. We just, we don't want a whole bunch of drama. And so the older women seem to not bring that to the table. They'll let stuff go. They're not really relevant. They're getting what they want to get, whatever that is. Not making any suggestions, but they're getting it and they're rolling, and they're not coming with a bunch of drama. So that's I see.
Lamont,
a younger
can I
man,
say
an older woman,
something to
that's
you?
not
no,
what I
not
see.
before I do though.
Wait a minute, Lamont, because I have to say this first, Marla. I think you might be in trouble because your Cougar preference is my mother-in-law,
Right,
And I
and
know
and
that
there's
she's
drama.
extremely chatty.
And I'm just
Are you
letting
going to be okay with that?
Well, I love it because I love it when you call me Big Papa. But other than
Okay.
that,
Okay.
This is why an
Throw
older
your
woman
hands
has
in
to
the
bring some
air.
drama. I
That's
see.
right. That's right.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks for
you know what? Thanks for calling in, Lamont. And
Oh, my pleasure. Talk to you
keep
guys
staying
soon.
in that chat room. We are about to Marla has a new segment called Selfie Surveys, and we're going to check out a couple of those right now.
It's time for another selfie survey. I have the lovely Mrs. Kibble. Tina, here's the question.
All right.
On next week's show, we're discussing why Cubs prefer Cougars.
Oh, Lord.
So, what I'd like to ask you, do you think that younger men prefer dating older women because younger women are too immature?
I would say a combination of that, and I think they are just looking for the experience of someone who can teach them, to be honest.
What?
And that's in all aspects of the dating game, not just physically. I think they're looking for a teacher.
Oh, I was trying to turn into something else with the.
Oh, that's including that. That's including. That's definitely in there, but a little bit more. So.
Okay, so you heard it. So Tina's assessment is that they just need to be taught. A younger
want
guy
to
is
be taught.
looking to be taught.
They want to be taught. They're like children. They need direction. They want to be reeled in,
I'm gonna end it with that. All right, thanks, Tina. For another selfie survey. It's time for another Mad Selfie Survey for the
Mad
week.
Selfie survey. Okay,
That
I'm
is
ready.
correct.
I'm ready.
So this is Susie.
Hi, everybody.
Susie, as we stand here in Vegas, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but what also happens in Vegas, I think in Vegas everything goes. So let's talk
From
about
what I've seen, anything goes.
that is true. So let's talk about Cubs who prefer Cougars. The question I'd like to ask you is,
Yes.
do you think that younger men prefer dating older women because younger women are just too immature?
It's a combination of their immaturity, still trying to find themselves with the older woman, a more mature woman. I don't want to say older necessarily. We're established. We know what we want. We have already gone through all of that. And might I also add, meow, or whatever a cougar says. Is that what a cougar says?
You should just pull out the Wolverine claws and just call it a day. He'll get. It's selfie survey time on the Marla and Dave show. I've got Carl standing here with me, and Carl, next week our show asks the simple question, why is it that Cubs, younger men, prefer Cougars, older women? So the question for you today is, do you think that younger men seek relationships with older women because younger women are just freaking immature?
Absolutely. I've been there before. I've been there many times. Sorry.
How many times, Carl?
I can't say that on camera.
Okay. Don't want to get him in trouble.
That's right. But it's absolutely true. You want to be with the older woman because she understands your needs. She understands her needs. And young girls don't understand their own needs. So how are they going to satisfy an older man?
So she'll be unsatisfied. He'll be unsatisfied with somebody his own age?
Absolutely.
What's too young, right quick? Just give me a number.
25.
Done. Thanks, Carl.
Thank you, baby.
This ain't your mama's radio show. Can you handle the truth? Then get ready for a real radio experience. Ladies and gentlemen, Marla and Dave.
Okay, we are back again. The phone lines are open, and the phone number to call the Marla and Dave show is 323-284-7826. We are asking the question today, why Cubs prefer Cougars? And I guess by default, we are also asking why Cougars prefer Cubs.
And do they? That's the question. And so we ended last time with actually getting into the definition before we took that brief little break to hear the selfie surveys. And Sheila was explaining why she has an actual, is it disdain or is it just an aversion to being called a cougar? Because and really it's about equality. You feel like men who date younger women don't have a name other than we established daddy.
Or sugar daddy or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I absolutely. So it's almost like if a woman dates a lot of different guys, then she's a whore. But if a guy does it, then it's okay. So it's the same kind of thing.
But we are made a little differently.
Yes, we are.
So in other words, they're visual and external. And I always say, I hate to. I'm always anyway. If you're in the chat room and you're under 18, I apologize. But vaginas wear out.
Okay. Well,
I'm just
penises.
saying.
Yeah,
Penises wear out too.
No, but what I'm saying
Except,
to you is,
you know what? There's all kind of medicine for a penis. Your penises are rejuvenated.
Yeah, not anymore.
Penises don't wear out. That's true.
No, you can get your vagina rejuvenated as well.
Oh, well.
Okay.
So this is about to turn into a vagina class.
Cougar material.
I mean, I don't need that
Vaginas can
personally,
be
but
hooked
if your thing
up,
is
too.
worn out, you might need to be rejuvenated.
Wait a minute. Sandra Hawkins in the chat room said, Greg, did the cougar that you were dating, did she know you were younger than she was?
Yes.
And so the age never came up. Come on, Greg.
They never got out the bed long enough to talk about it.
Fill us in on how the conversation went.
Well, I believe I was 21, and she said she's between 30 and 35. And
Okay,
that was the
definitely
end
a
of it.
cougar.
I was like, okay.
Oh, you were a real cub.
Yep.
Did you
Just
nurse?
finding
Did you
himself.
nurse during that whole
You really
process?
had your license.
Just finding himself.
Well, the question about nursing is, did you get milk? and for the guys in the chat room, some of the people in the chat room, guys and girls, I should say, Tony, why don't you fill them in why they're not getting video?
Let's see. They should be getting video, but let me look.
It's probably your own internet connection. that
Yeah,
you might
it has to be
concerned
yours
with.
because I'm looking and it looks like it's going
Yeah, I
out
can
fine.
see us.
I
on
see the
here.
video too.
But
So
we
yeah,
need.
just reset your browser and it should start working.
All right, thank you. Now, off topic a little bit, Sandra Hawkins said your hair looks great.
Oh, well, thank you.
It really suits you.
I brought a little bohemian braid action to the table, just, because I just got tired of getting my hair done all the time, even though I got to give a shout out always to my boy Gregg Gilmore, who does my hair. And I'm coming back, Greg. Don't worry. I promise you I will be back. Anyway, let's get back to what we were talking about, because I have my own questions. Now, a lot of people always say to David and myself, "What, you guys can't." They respect our relationship and they respect our information, but the truth of the matter is we've been married to each other for 26 years. So getting this, don't ever give that look again.
My hat goes off to Dave.
Yeah. My hair has been going off.
This is what happens when you don't get this. You're in the doghouse. This is how you bring it back.
For the record, someone in the chat room says you're a good-looking cougar there, Sheila.
Oh,
his name is Tony Fontana.
They're both actually in high visual demand, from what I can see, happening right here. Okay, you can't see them, but there's some touching beginning to go. I was really concerned.
Yes, petting. You can also pet a cougar.
Right. But you better be prepared for the response from the cougar.
Ooh, and what did that
Speaking
okay.
true cougar-ese,
I am always
Sheila, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me say this. I'm going to ask you both, starting with Sheila. What is the most difficult part for you personally in dating a younger man? Give me the worst of it, and give me the one thing that is definitely a perk, a plus.
The great sex is a perk.
That's okay. There's a perk. And in what way though? Longevity?
Yeah, they're always ready. They're willing to please.
Are
it's not just about them.
They listen? Do young guys listen?
Some of them do.
I listen to Sheila.
Okay, and what's the worst of it?
I think for me personally, I'm at a stage in my life where I'm looking for companionship. And when you date a really younger guy, they haven't had kids yet. I'm not having kids. I want stability financially. I want to be able to have an intellectual conversation. I'm just looking for someone who is a little bit more mature, long-term relationship, someone who is more mature and more stable. That's emotionally, mentally, financially.
And so I get what you're saying.
All
that
and above.
So on the physical aspect, our Cubs are the bomb. But when it comes to the other support that you need, you feel like that a younger guy is kind of lacking in his real connection to all of your other
Marla,
needs.
And we're going to have to actually get back to that conversation as soon as we're done with the poll results.
Okay.
The results from last week's poll. Now, the poll last week, the poll question was, are women under 25 too immature to be considered solid relationship material? And that's, our show's, our poll question is based on the show topic for the week upcoming. The results actually, what do you think they are? What do you think the results were?
I think that they were, are we talking in percentages?
Yeah, just give me a rough guess.
And the choices for my answer are
yes, they're inexperienced. No, it's all good.
I think it was overwhelmingly yes. I say 85% of the people said that younger women are just way too immature.
I agree.
Greg, would you agree?
Yes,
Sheila?
I agree.
Okay,
I agree.
well, see, that's why people said 83% of the people who voted said yes, they're inexperienced, and 17% said no, it's all good. They're the ones who actually
those
feel
are the
like
babies who are feeling
old
left
enough
out.
to bleed. Old enough to breed. They must be from the. I don't want to say they're from the South because I am too, so that'd be a little scary. But you know what? Before we actually get back to the topic, we want to actually let you guys know that we have another feature that we'll start up called the Mad Match.
Oh, I'm so excited to talk about this. Oh, please let me.
Oh, go ahead. Hurry up.
Okay, so here it is, the Mad Match. So with all of our experience, Dave, I think that we're able to decide who may possibly be compatible, at least to start a friendship. So Marla and Dave would like to have we want to play our hand in matchmaking. So the Mad Match is simple. You're gonna,
is he or she the one? We say, who cares? Let us send you on a date with someone that we think you would have fun with.
That's right.
And it's brought to you by JDM, as in Mary, Prestige Limo Service. That number is 818-823-6073. We'll send you on a date. We'll pay for it. And if things bubble up from there and continue, it's all good. It's all good.
So here's what you're going to do. You got to submit your picture And go to the Marla and Dave website.
MarlaandDave.com.
Go to Mad Match. Follow those instructions, submit, and every week we'll do a process of elimination, and once a month we'll choose what we think will be a great Mad Match.
Welcome back to the Marla and Dave radio show. Marla and Dave want to talk to you. Phone lines are open at 323-284-7826. 323-284-7826.
That is right. So, again, we are here with Gregg Guenther.
And Sheila Lee.
And Gregg is a Cub. He doesn't, you know what?
Gregg
doesn't like to be called a Cub. And Sheila is a Cougar, but she doesn't like to be called a Cougar.
What's your aversion to Cub?
Wait a minute. Okay,
I've dated one guy that was 30.
I was going to say, would you say that you're a Cougar or that you've had Cougar experience?
Cougar experience.
Okay.
One Cougar experience, by the way.
Okay.
So you actually
Cougar
prefer
nonetheless.
older men. Can you say that?
I'm Cougar X, I guess.
Do you have a preference of older or younger?
I typically go for older guys, but because I look younger, I find that younger guys are attracted to me.
Okay. And so, right. All right, Gregg, we got to get to you. Why don't you want to be called a Cub? Because it's a small little cute thing that you can rub. It makes little
I'm not
noises.
a Cub. I mean, in relation to the topic of 10 years.
Well, even a baby beast is
That
still
might
a beast cub.
I think I'm too big to be called a Cub in just general.
And for the record,
he's a beast cub.
For the record, in case you guys, Gregg is sitting down, but Gregg is 6'9", so he's a very, very tall, abnormally tall, freakishly tall human being. So, yes. Okay, so continue.
Thank you for saying that gently.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, because, even we've been friends for so many years, and I'm like, he still can't go anywhere without ducking underneath stuff, and it's a sad life for you. It's okay.
Very sad.
It's all right. It's all right, as Sheila would say.
Lisa.
Call him Tiny Dancer.
Okay, Tiny Dancer. It's okay.
I'll dance for you later.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
So, I'm still wondering, have we answered the question? Is it the fact that a cougar's strength, her main thing is her sexuality? Is that what the Cougars bringing to the table? Is that what the Cub is looking for?
I think so. And I think a little bit of it would be more so like the challenge. Because if you're 22 years old, an older woman is almost like the Holy Grail.
Okay, so and then it has nothing to do with the fact that, there's really no true, I want to marry you expectation on the table.
Exactly.
Okay, Gregg, are you bored? Let me just be honest. You've been when you were, from the time I met you in college and you were playing with USC, you went on to play football, whatever, and you've been exposed to much more than the average man, especially when it comes to women. Are you bored? Is it so easy for you to, because you just said something that honestly just perked my attention for 1 second, and you said the challenge and getting an older woman is like the Holy Grail. That says to me that in you, as God designed it, the man, that you want to be able to conquer, and clearly there's so much of an abundance of easy pickings that it's not. So did you get bored? Were you bored with women throwing themselves, young women just being out there?
Okay, before Gregg answers, we have a caller on the line, and let's let the caller weigh in.
Dave, let's sell Gregg and Sheila for the highest bidder.
Caller,
okay,
go on. You're on with Marla and Dave, Gregg and Sheila.
Hello. I was actually just calling to find out where the chat room is located. This is Chili.
Hi, Chili.
Hey, Chili, what's going on?
Hi, Chili.
Well, Tony's going to tell you how to get into that chat room.
There you go.
Thank
Go
you
to
so much.
ubnradio.com and then open channel 1. And as soon as it opens up, it's on the left or the right side of the screen. So that's
Okay.
But Chili, while we
Thank
have
you
you
so
on the line, would you consider yourself a cougar, or have you had a cougar
Absolutely
experience? You're not a cougar. You're not a cougar.
No. I am vehemently opposed to a younger man in my face, in my business.
Just get out of your
Any of it.
face, Chili. Gregg, go home. I don't even want to see you.
No.
Chili,
You're a child. I mean, I
But-
can't do the children.
But Chili, Marla's asking you why.
Well, yeah, I mean, but because you're so strong with it, like, what is the what?
Damn, yeah, you must
Yeah, I
have.
need to
You sound
hear.
like you've been dogged by a cub.
No, they approach me, and it's cute and funny and whatnot, but really,
Mama
the
can drop it
maturity
like it's
level-
hot, but not for real.
No, not for real.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
thank you, little
So,
cuz.
no, wait,
Pat you on the head and give you some honey and take you to
Little
your
pat.
Ah, she
Little-
said,
little
give
doggy
you some
treat.
honey and take it to the den.
Oh my goodness! But Shirley,
Love
first
it.
of all, thanks for calling. Thanks for and hope you can find that chat room.
I'm working on it right now.
And join us every Monday at 4:00. Okay,
I'm there.
4:00 Pacific Standard
fam.
Time. All right,
All
thank
right,
you.
see ya.
That was
Hilarious.
funny. You get a pat on the head.
Well, because here's what I can imagine. When I think of the depth of my relationships and my relationship with Dave, or all for that matter, and just the places that I've been and traveled with my life. For example, 3 kids, 1 child, traveled over, been all over the world, whatever the case is. What conversation can I have other than I can just imagine being in a relationship with a young guy, because like Sheila said, there are a lot of us who look a lot younger than we are, but experience tells the story. And I'm, trying to talk to them about some trials that are going on with my kids, and they're asking for another blowjob. Problem.
I don't think you have to be a
Problem for
cub to win a blowjob.
Yeah, it's a problem for who?
Again, that came up last week. I don't think you need to be a cub to want the blowjob. That doesn't make it easy.
That's how. I mean, in other words, you're pouring out your heart, and you're looking for something more, and he's going, Can we just one more? Can you hook that? Can you? That's what I'm. So is
That's just bad timing. That's all that is.
I want to give a shout out to Susie, who was with us in Vegas this weekend. Susie, what's up? Susie, if you are a cougar or have had a cougar experience or would like to, why don't you call the show?
Right.
She's in the chat room, but we need you to call the show.
You can speak to Sheila or, whoever's opinion here. So, Greg.
Or if you like the way Greg is looking, I'll give you his phone number
I think
off the
we
air.
already know he's very open to cougar experiences. So
Again, the phone
not
line.
opposed to it.
The phone number for the Marla and Dave show is 323-284-7826. Again, 323-284-7826. Sheila.
yes.
Let me ask you a question.
Oh my.
Was that a good experience with your cub/cougar relationship?
It was good and bad.
Well,
Why'd you leave him in the zoo? Why is he still
wait,
under
that
the
brings
care
up
of
a
the
very
zookeeper?
good point. Why was it bad? You said the sex was good, but
The
what was
sex
bad
good.
about it?
Just communication.
He was a complete idiot, wasn't he?
Yeah, communication.
Booty. You mean
Yeah.
go to bed, me.
Well, lack of communication, not how he communicated. He was a very intelligent guy, but he was still, trying to find himself, didn't really have a lot like common courtesy and respect is like very important to me.
Yeah.
And when you don't have that, you got to go. Bye.
Yeah.
But do you think, hold on, stop.
So he was rude?
No, hold on. Do you think that though is about his age or the person? Because
No.
common courtesy, to me, when we were young, kids,
Right.
I can say that Dave was always a very respectful and courteous, even young guy.
I was a nice cub.
Yeah, I don't think that
yeah.
particularly has
You're
anything
older
to do
than me,
with
so
age.
it didn't work.
Because I find that there are older men that are
That's what I'm
inconsiderate
saying.
and,
So
and
I'm
disrespectful.
yeah.
But
I
here's
think
a
it's more of
question.
the communication, like lack of communication.
And musical Chili, we just talked to on the phone. She's in the chat room. She's asking Sheila the question: was the cub broke, or did he have finances on the table?
How important is that?
Broke as hell.
Broke as hell, not just broke. So broke he almost got choked.
Were you so in that situation when you go into it? Because I'll say this: let's flip the script. A lot of men put up with women who don't have that much financial that they're bringing to the table, and they're constantly taking care of a woman. Do you find that that's a complete issue? That if you're really into this guy just because of his age and his economic state in life at the moment, that he's just you just throw him away and he's discounted?
Well, before we let Sheila answer that question, matter of fact, mark that in your brains because we're about to have to break to play our world famous Mad Love game. So if you guys are ready, remember that
ready.
question, Miss Cougar over here, and we are about to jump straight to the Mad Love game.
It's time to play the Marla and Dave Love Game. Here are Marla and Dave to explain how it works.
Okay, it's time for the Mad Love game. Thanks, Hal. Back to us. The Mad Love game is a relationship game. It's really fun. Marla and I created the game, and it has 3 categories. The categories are sex, finance, and communication, the main things that go into a Cub-Cougar relationship, but it also has a single die. Some people say a single dice, but a single die. The die has those categories on it. And in the places where they don't have categories, it's the Marla and Dave logo. That means it's wild. You can choose what you want to.
Pat Sajak is looking for you.
Thank you, Pat. But today, in honor of our Cub-Cougar relationship, we're going to choose the category for you. The category is sex. I knew that you would like that, Mr. Cub. I
always like that topic.
The sex question, I'm pretty sure Sheila might not be mad at it either. Sheila, yes or no?
She's smiling.
He's constantly petting that cougar.
I like sex.
That is not the question?
The question today is name 3 times when a couple might appreciate a quickie. A quick little sex interaction that doesn't last more than 5 minutes. Name 3 times when you think.
Every interaction for a cub? Ooh, I'm sorry.
Ooh, I thought that would be
Wrong
just
cub.
the opposite. But let's let Sheila go first. Name 3 times when you think someone might prefer a quickie.
When the children are asleep.
Okay, bingo. That's 1. Sheila, yes. Think on it, Sheila.
I don't know.
Let's go, Cub. Represent.
We have to guess what other people said.
No, it's what do you
Three
think?
actual questions that they're answering.
3 times?
No. She answered one of them. There's 3.
When the kids are asleep is 1. When would someone prefer a quickie?
The car.
The car? Okay, when in a public place. I'll accept that. Bingo. The third one is when time is of the essence. Duh. Okay. Thanks for playing the Mad.
But you know what,
The
Dave?
Mad
You
Love
have to
Game.
let them know. Just for our audience, there's a discussion question.
Thank you, Marla. Thanks for
Okay,
reminding me,
I thought you
Vanna.
were- Yeah.
If I'm Pat
Pat was about
Sajak,
to
you're
fire you.
Vanna
I
White.
was trying to save your job.
And we're going to get to that. What length of time denotes a quickie? Now, I suggested 5 minutes.
What the? Okay.
Is 5 minutes not a quickie?
Well, yeah, I guess it could be. I would even say, ooh. Yeah.
Well, should I expose myself and say it's 5 minutes a quickie for me? No. Cub.
My first thought was 6.
6
minutes.
Anything under 6 minutes would be a quickie.
If time is of the
Quickie
essence,
would
she's
be
trying.
like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Sheila,
Like it's just
Less
like
than
a-
5 minutes.
Yeah.
so Sheila, we're not going to ask you to expose your sexual prowess as the cougar that you are, but
Why not?
average them out. Under what length of time would be a quickie?
I think Lamont Baxter.
I said under 5 minutes.
Lamont Baxter might be the expert on quickies. He's given 16 answers in the last. There's lunch at home. There's an office visit. Lamont, what in the hell are you doing? You're
Well, I'm
like
with
the
Lamont.
quickie master.
My first thought was breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Okay.
That was my first thought.
Okay, well, hey, you guys, you know what? You can also always get the Mad Love Game on our website, marlanddave.com. But
a lot of fun.
now we're going to announce this week's poll question, which, of course, you can always vote on the poll question, and we invite you to at www.marlanddave.com. Spell out the A-N-D, marlanddave.com. Anyway, the poll question this week is reality TV factual or fictitious? Factual or fictitious? Right quick, Greg, what do you think?
Hell no.
It's fake as hell.
completely.
Okay, Sheila.
I think it's fake with some realness in it.
It's got a kernel of truth, but the rest of it is some BS.
Yes.
A dash of truth and a whole lot of BS.
What's the action?
You'll laugh. You'll learn. You'll learn. You'll get mad. Shut up. You'll get happy. But you won't be bored. This is the Marla and Dave radio show on the Universal Broadcast Network.
All right, guys, I have to ask a quick question about before I let you guys get out of here on the whole Cub and Cougar situation. These are going to be, I'm going to let you both answer true or false questions. 3 questions that I'd like to throw out there. Mainly to you first, Greg. Is a Cub's attraction to a Cougar, is your strongest attraction her sexual competence? True or false?
True.
Okay. Is a Cub's Dave?
Go ahead. No, don't mind me.
Could a Cub
Don't
possibly
mind me.
prefer a Cougar? Do Cougars, because Cougars don't have unrealistic expectations?
True.
Okay.
Spoken like a true Cub. Yes, true.
Does a Cub generally prefer a Cougar because most Cougars are financially stable and they're willing to spoil you?
No.
Really? So you mean you
Sex
bring
is first.
You bring Cub love and they don't even hook you up with dinner?
Maybe.
Well, let me
If you're a Cub, it's just sex.
Let,
Dinner, lunch, all the rest can come after that.
let me piggyback on that with Sheila though, because she said the Cub that she dated was broke as hell. So were you willing to financially take care of him while you were getting that
Absolutely
loving?
not.
Ooh,
Oh.
that face.
So wait a minute. His. You said he had great sex, so that wasn't enough to offset the fact that he was broke.
I knew exactly what it was.
And that was
I
it.
accepted it for what it was.
I applaud
Okay,
that.
you know what, Sheila? You know what?
Sheila,
And would you Cougar out again? That was your one Cougar experience. Would you do it again?
Probably, but not with Greg. Get out of here. Too close to home.
Sheila is not just a Cub. Sheila, you are a killer.
So
You're
a Cougar
folks.
doesn't actually prey in her or hunt in her own territory. She actually has to go outside.
I'll move.
That's awesome.
Okay, let's give them before they go. I'd like for both Greg and Sheila to quickly, in your best advice, if you're talking to a guy who's looking to get with an older woman, Greg, what's the best advice you can give him to be successful in lassoing that cougar?
Be honest.
That's a good one.
Nice, I like it. Well, that works for just about any relationship.
But it's
think so,
shocking. It's
too.
like contradictory.
Okay.
Most guys think you need to lie. No, just be honest.
Sheila?
It works.
Best advice
I just wanna
for an
tap
older
that-
woman who's actually
Okay.
is making a decision to be in a relationship with a younger man.
Accept it for what it really is. You need to talk about, like, what is this really? Is this? It's probably not going to lead to some long-term relationship, so you got to be okay with that. And as long as both parties understand what it is, then it's cool.
Be honest.
See, this
So
is
honesty is a good tenet for any
Can I tell you
relationship.
why my face right now looks scrunched up and puzzled?
I was about to ask you that,
Well,
but
I'll
I don't want to
tell you
embarrass you.
why.
On.
These are my friends, and I have my single friends over here, and that are male, Greg and others, and then I have my phenomenal female friends that are single, and there's so much honesty and truth going on in this room, yet it's like a magnet. I can't get these people together. What happens? What happens?
Wait,
You can't get who
Not-
together?
magnets come together.
I'm not talking about. I'm saying
It's
I'm
like
saying-
a magnet. They're
No,
just
no,
repulsed.
they don't. No, they don't. Have you ever tried to put a magnet together, scientist?
Yeah, from pole to pole. But you know what? This has been an actual great conversation. And we want to thank everybody in the chat room, everybody who called in. I want to actually give a shout out to Austin Brown, who couldn't be here today. He's playing at the Bardot Club at 11 p.m. tonight.
And his sound
Austin
check
Brown and his
interfered.
band. It's going to be awesome, but his sound check wouldn't allow him to get here. So we thank Greg for jumping in at the last
And Greg,
minute.
you'll see more Greg. We've got another topic coming up that we think that Greg's gonna. He's committed already
Absolutely.
to join us.
Greg will join us on another show. But next week we have Jeffrey Dyson, the creator and producer of Hollywood X's, to join us in the conversation
Yeah.
for reality TV.
We're gonna tackle that tough topic that we've been avoiding and tiptoeing around, which is reality TV, including some of how we really feel honestly about our daughter.
I hate it
committing.
anyway. So we will also have another surprise guest join us along with Jeff Dyson. And again, thank you for hanging out with us. This is the Marla and Dave show.
Exactly.
It's
And
a mad world.
So let's just talk about it.
Hello.
Now that you've found UBN Radio and discovered our quality talk shows, it's time to spread the word to friends, family, and the universe. 24 hours of music and talk. Radio without limits. That's why people keep coming back for more. That's UBNradio.com.